Hey, hello everyone, it's Oscar. Welcome to my YouTube channel. In my previous video, I shared with you the experience of applying for F1 student. And in this video today, I'm gonna share with you my honesty of opinion of being a student, athlete, and as well as being international student in the United States, and the challenges we face each and every day. I will share the light about my life experience being, being international student, and this is not meant to discourage anyone who is wishing to apply school in the United States, but I'm here just to lead something to you that you might understand of being a student athlete. And after that, I'm going to share with you the process on which you need to understand that after college, what are you expected to do, and if you want to get other things, I will also explain to you what you need to understand. So like I said, in 2017, in the summer of 2017, I applied a college in Oklahoma City University, if you don't know, which is situated in Oklahoma City, and I was accepted and given a full scholarship as a student athlete. But I traveled through US through Frankfurt, and I got into US, and I had to go back to Mexico to change my status to F1. Upon there, I traveled by post all the way from Matamoros, Brownsville, Austin, Texas, Dallas, and then Oklahoma. And I was privileged to be picked up by my coach, and it was the beginning of my new chapter of life. So when I first got to Oklahoma City, things were different. I had to fight a culture shock. I had to catch up with my colleagues because I was very late at that time. I missed some classes, and that's the story for another day. It was so challenging. Being a student athlete, you had to maintain a GPA of 3.0 and above. I will share that part of the story later in this channel, and you will get to understand the reality and expectation of US. So what I need to tell you folks is that being in US is not a fun. It's just about struggle. You have to hustle to pay your school fees. The least you can pay is $7,000 to $8,000 depending on the school you're carrying. So what I just want to prepare you, like when you are doing your research, you need to do a lot of research to know where you're going. I came from Kenya when I only had $20, but when I get to Austin, Texas, my friend gave me another $20 to go to Matamoros, and that's what all my parents could afford at that time. Some people may be lucky to have at least or almost $1,000 to come to US, but in reality, it's tough situation. For here, you have to pay your bills. You have to pay your electricity. If you live out of campus, you pay your house, you pay your water bills, you pay your sewage, etc. So, and when I get to Oklahoma, I spend more of my time in cafeteria. I cannot cook for my food because I didn't know anything. I was just new. I expected like to be home, but it was different. Like the type of food you here, and as being a student athlete, you need to have more of gaps and to build your muscles and also to maintain your endurance. So I had to spend much of my time in cafeteria, where I was living in on hostels where we cannot cook for ourselves. We had a different type of hostels that the juniors and the seniors could go and live, but our scholarship could not afford to pay for that hostel. But we requested our coach that we could make our own food, and the story goes on. I will still share a lot about it. So I met some of my new friends from England, Mark Shaw, Mark McNeil, among many other people. They welcomed me. It was new environment, new things, and after there, I had to embark on a business of being school. What I didn't know is I thought that the academic progress is like one of my country. Here you need to be on class, you need to check on student boards, you need to answer some questions, you need to clock into the browser and do your exams. But I missed such a lot of exams, and this is what I say. I'll tell you the story later. It almost deemed me to be my service fee being terminated, but thank God it could not. Thank God to my coach who helped me, and also I worked hard, and I maintained my GPA later. So what happened there is, after you've completed, well, after you've arrived here, the real struggle arises. Many people expect a lot from you. Your family members expect you to send money. Your friends expect to send money. Your family, your large extended family, your village, everyone will be reaching out to you. Hey, how is you? I had a lot of expectation. I thought this country had a lot of unique things. I would get money, I would work, and the first challenge is after I closed my break for Christmas break, that is 2017. I didn't know anything. I was told the school will go on break, and I was gonna stay in the school, but I didn't know the cafeteria was gonna be closed. So in the evening, I went by cafeteria and I found it everywhere it was closed, and I only ate $10. So I had to think about it. It was getting cold. It was towards the spring. It was snowing, and I never had any idea about that. So I called one of my friends who I met in cross country. He had told me to reach out to me so that they can afford to host me, but they ignored my call. They could not receive my call. I text a lot of messages that I'm so angry. I've never had anything for like 3 days. I was surviving in water, and I went to Dollar Tree. I bought a bread. After buying a bread, it was expired. I went back and returned the bread, but it has a lot of things that I want to share with you. If you don't have money, you have a real problem. So I called my coach, and basically I reached out to my friend. I wanted him to help me. I wanted him to help me $20 so that I can sustain me for a little while, because the school was gonna resume on 7th of 2018. So the days were gonna be longer. I could not train because I was student athlete. I could not do anything because I never had anything to cook to head. I had to reach to my friend Mark Shaw, and they had to reach out to coach. But when coach called me, I had reached out to my friend who was living in Stillwater. He offered me to host me for a while, and the only thing I needed was $20 to pay for Greyhood, and I didn't have that money at that time. I had my social security. I was not able to work in school. I had no little cent in my pocket, and everyone was reaching at me at home. Please, would you send me this, or would you send me that? It was a very difficult moment. Like, I wanted to give up, but no, I say no. I have given me. So later, I had a story that I will share about my grades, what my registrar and advisors reached out to me, that I was almost terminated service, but thank God it never went through. I will share that story later, but today I'm just gonna share with you this experience. It is reality. There is no money. Before you come to US, you need to do a lot of research. You need to go to the cheap schools. Big schools, you're gonna spend a lot of money. You have to pay your bills. That's one of the first thing you need. And you expected to send money home, support your parents, support your siblings, among many other things. That right. That's all the things that I talked previously. Like, don't burden your siblings who are abroad, especially in US. So the reality is that my experience is when I joined Oklahoma City University, I had a lot of expectation. I thought I was gonna receive stipends. I was gonna build my mom's house. I was gonna build my brother's a house. I'm gonna buy a land, buy a car, drive a car, all their things. But that could not be the possible. That was opposite what I was thinking when I called my siblings and told them that it's not what you think. They told me, hey, you should have not leave home and do this and that. So but I would say it was a very tough situation in 2017, but thank you to my friend who hosted me and gave me a shoulder to lean on. I won't forget him until today. So that is the really hard decision being a student here. Sometimes when I think about it, I feel like things has been better. When I got into track again, my coach was able to pay for my school fees. They had to pay my tuition. They had to pay my cafeteria fee. They had to move me from the hostel that I used to live to a new one that I can cook for myself. That's when I started, doing a random shopping to see if I have my African food products around, and I was able to get one. So after then, I reached out to some friends who introduced me to friends. I got to know we had a lot of people in Oklahoma from my country, but it's only that I was new in that place. So after a while, I was able to compete, but however, my school was paying only my tuition, and they never pay for my insurance. They never pay for my my taxes. I had to pay out of pocket, and it accumulated until like 1,500, and I had to find a work on campus, which would allow me to work 20 hours. My first work was at Chick-fil-A. I worked at Chick-fil-A as a saver and also as a cook and as at a counter, and it helped me a lot. And after a while, because of the task, I had to pay my bills. I had to pay my other phone. I had to buy my phone. I had to even started paying for getting a driver's license. I had to go to DMV, get a driver's license. I never got it immediately, but I had to do what we call learner's permit, which took me for a while to get my permanent driver's license. After that, I moved to working in a gym, which was more convenient for me and my training, because I was running at the same time studying. It requires a lot of commitment, so I had to shelve working in Chick-fil-A, although they were paying higher than my gym. They were paying minimum wage. The Chick-fil-A was paying me $10 a then, but gym was paying me the minimum pay of $7.25. But I would say thank you, because during the summertime I was able to work full time, because I never had a lot of classes there, and it helped me a lot to pay my bills, support my siblings at home, support my mother, and I built my mother a little house. That all being said, the struggle here is real. It's not about just getting money. You have to plan yourself. However, I said here, I'm gonna be here just to discourage you from applying, but you have to do your thorough research. it's not just about getting a school, it's about paying the school fees. Because in this country you can sleep outside, you can actually be on streets if you don't have a place to stay, if you don't have money to pay your bills, if you mess up with something, it is very easy for you to get yourself in streets. So that being said, it's at this moment, when during the summertime, when I worked in a school and I got back into the track, I maintained my GPA until at the mid of 2020 when COVID came in. That's when I lost my scholarship. That's when the college stopped paying for my school. That's the time my coach stopped paying for my insurance, for my tuition fee. I tried all I can. I had to do side hustle. I had to do deliveries. I had to request coach to help me. He gave me a position of graduate assistant and a coaching, and I was helping him during meets. I was helping him to select for recruitment of students, and it served as a purpose. It taught me a lesson on how to struggle. That's when I almost slept out. That's when I just had nowhere to go. I reached some friends. Nobody was there willing to support me. But one of my friends was willing, who was in Stillwater. But I had to, I didn't have a car. I didn't have. It's very hard for you to travel from 1 hour away to school and still go to classes, do your coaching stuff. You have to be awake in the morning, you have to be in training at 5 o'clock. That was a tough thing. So having said that, the struggle here is real. It's not that easy to just say, I'm in US, I'm enjoying fun. If you see people traveling, you see people enjoying their life, it's not the way you think. You don't compare yourself with somebody. Some students get stipends, some don't get stipends, depending on what program they're running for. Like if you are a D1 student and IA student, they are in two separate worlds apart. They don't receive funding like stipends. Everything is catered for, but you're not paid even a cent. Like you're running for this country, you win, and nobody is giving you stipends, but they pay for your school fees. That is the ultimate goal we work here. So after I lost my scholarship, after I lost everything, I had to think around the box. I had to do a lot of hassles. I didn't even tell anyone. I was paying school fees for my college. I paid almost $9,000 in that summer, and then I had like one semester to graduate, because I had graduated with my first master's degree, and then the second master's coach convinced me to still stay, and then I applied for a PhD program in University of Oklahoma, and they accepted me, but I could not attend because I had to finish the program and do some prerequisite for me to join there. It was a tough, and that's when I regretted I should have joined like Oklahoma University. So as time goes, my coach hosted me for that period, almost a year, until I had a family friend who hosted me for a year until I had my place. That's when I started, hustling, applying for work permit after my graduation. So this is where I'm headed to. So what do you expect? What are you expecting? What do you think? There are 7 ways you need to think through when you complete your degree, and the further thing you comes in your mind. We have a program called STEM, and we have non-STEM. So yeah, it's a program that I will talk about in a few seconds, and stay with me, don't leave. It's gonna be fun. Enjoy, and I hope it will help you. And it's just amazing to be international student. Being international student is a very different thing, like coming here with green card. international students struggle a lot. They don't even want to tell their family members at home. They go through a lot of so many things here. You're not allowed to work outside campus. You're not allowed to do anything that jeopardize your immigration status, or you might find yourself being deported back home, which is the case scenario that I don't like to talk about. It's something that I really feel people should know. So when you've completed your degree, when you've stayed in US at least for one academic year, you are eligible to apply for what we call optional training, optional practical training, which is a part of what you studied, what you need to get. So this is a part also towards employment-based citizenship. In meantime, there are so many things that you need to consider after your graduation. And before I proceed with that, there's a perception people should know before they travel to US. I would encourage people to do a lot of research. Basically, it's nice to do a lot of research to know what course you need to do, and then it's basically important for you to know what type of work permit or OPT you're gonna take. There's some good courses you can take, and I would encourage in this video you do a lot of research, do something about nursing, do research about STEM programs. It is very important because they can help you later in life to still stay in US and get green card or permanent residence. So I'm gonna talk about these 7 options that can still enable you to remain in United States. And we have one, optional practical training. What is OPT? OPT is a program that entails and it's mostly for students, undergrad or graduate students who have made certain criteria, who have been here for 1 year, and at least it's meant to stay here for 12 months. The OPT is eligibility is you have to have been here for at least 1 year, and you must be on a F1 student visa, and these students to stay in US, you cannot do your work outside US. It deems you to be ineligible. So, and for you to be eligible for this program, you must have received your degree or have been studying in US. That is what I said. You've been in US for 1 academic years. So I talked about STEM. This is a program that entails science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Some of the graduates may receive extension of 24 months. Like, what important to study STEM? It gives you an extension. Besides STEM, I talked of nursing. Nursing can help you adjust your status, where you can file for Form I-140. This is for you to be attested. You attest that this is a sponsor. You get a sponsor who can consider you and sponsor you to, in US we have shortages of nurses, and most often they suggest or they help international students get their green card through a nursing program and etc. So if you decided to take this route for OPT, what you must know is you must also work within your related field of study. You cannot work a different field, and then you must submit your authorization forms to USIS. Also, you can visit USIS website, and the only thing challenge here, if you receive your work authorization while you're a student, you are not allowed to work as a full-time student. You are only allowed to work for 20 hours, and a week while schooling season. You're not allowed to do that. So do a lot of research while studying, do a lot of things, because you might find sponsors who are able to sponsor you, who are able to employ you and even apply you through the route of OPT. So the number two thing is what we call H-1B visa, which is called non-immigrant visa. This is actually another route towards adjusting your status. H-1B visa are granted F1 student. The F1 student can change their visa from being F1 to H-1B visa if they have a sponsor, if they are eligible, if you have maintained your immigration status very well, if you have never had any issues with immigration. I know it has a lot of conditions though, and H-1B visa allows you to stay for a period of 6 years, but in the 5th year the employer can file for you a green card. But in the season, if you get another employer, you have to reapply for a new H-1B visa. So know that. And H-1B visa can be also checked through USI's website to know your eligibility and to determine your criteria. However much, another number three thing is green card. Most of us in US as an international student, our ultimate goal actually is to get a green card, as a non-US citizen. And being international student, that is the most fundamental thing we are looking at. Receiving or getting a green card is one of the fundamental benefits. It has a lot of benefits for you. You can stay in every part of US, you can travel to any state, you can get benefits like any US citizen, and you can live in US indefinitely, because however, the process is also demanding. The process is difficult. It takes time. You have to undergo immigration interview. You have to prove you have maybe to have a sponsor. You might be eligible to spend around $500,000 in US economy. All those you can check in USI's website. Another number four thing is through immediate family sponsorship. If you have your immediate family member, who is also a US citizen, they can actually sponsor for you. They have some limitation. This family sponsor must be a US citizen. That is the first thing. It must be your spouse, children over 21, a parent, a sibling, and you must prove your relationship is legal by filing form I-130. And in this process, you must prove it. You must undergo a process called interview. You must be able to speak and write English. You must you must know your civic test. That's for citizenship actually. And that the most thing is you must prove the relationship exists. So, and then the next number 5 is marriage. If you are planning to get your visa or permanent resident, you cannot get citizenship immediately after you marry somebody. No, but you have to file that form I-130, adjustment of status. This will grant you a green card, but the process itself is cumbersome. It is long. It needs patience. You need to attend interview. You need maybe to attend with your spouse. You need to prove you need to have an income. You need to provide you have a video of support. If your spouse is not able to provide that, you need to find affidavit of support that can ultimately show that someone can support you for that entire period of your stay. So it like I said, it does not automatically grant you a citizenship, but you have to go to prove that your marriage is valid. You have to go for that interview, and it's never easy experience. Some people have shared their thoughts and experience that it's not an easy one. You have an officer questioning you with very many questions which are common, that you need to prove. You need to know your spouse very well. You need to know where you sleep, where you put your clothes, where your bed are, what time do you sleep, who drives, who hits what, who is in kitchen. All that you need to provide that. So the other one is asylum. This is the most I think it's the frequent thing that has been happening nowadays. It's been greatly have to prove. Asylee needs to prove that he is conditioned. He has a reason why he's applying for asylum, and this can also lead you to get a permanent residence, and then later you get your permanent residence and then citizenship. Like in marriage, if you stay in marriage for 3 years, you are eligible for a citizenship. You can apply. Sometimes we have conditional green cards, which is for marriage, which is 2 years, and you can get 10 years or 5 years depending on your validity and your paperwork. So make sure you have a good documentation. So, and then we used to have what we call military service. Military service was benefiting international students with abilities, with skills, and special languages. Maybe it used to be a MAVNI program, which was there until the reign of Barack Obama and the Donald Trump. They closed the program indefinitely, which might not be available in future. If you're thinking about it, you forget about it because it might not be open until later. Maybe something happens. However, military can accelerate your citizenship, but if you are in green card, you can actually be recruited to join US military, and this has to be cleared. You have to undergo security clearance, and after then you can actually accelerate your citizenship. However, military cannot help you get your citizenship. It cannot help you get your green card nowadays because things have changed. So however, I've said, so like as a student, you need to prepare well. You need to know what direction you're heading to. Even though you struggle to pay your bills, make sure you maintain your legal status. Make sure you follow the rules. Make sure you avoid being in the wrong hands of government. Make sure you avoid being caught up in felonies. Make sure you maintain your status. That is one of the most common things. As I said, people don't understand the struggles as an international student goes through. Sometimes international students found themselves going mute. Even they disable their all social networks, not because they want to do so, but because of the challenges they face here. Not because they don't want you to reach out to them, but because they have a lot in their mind. You have school, You have to maintain your status, you have to pay your bills, you have to pay your electricity, you have to have gasoline, you have a water bill, you have a sewerage bill, and then your siblings wants money, your parents wants money, your friends, your village mates, your age mates are expecting a lot from you. So it is within your interest to see which fits you most. It's what makes you happy most, so that you can find people going mute, disable all their social network, not because they want. So I would just hide people, like, being in US is something people admire. Being in United States is one of the greatest dream of everyone. But the reality here is the hustles we go through as a student is a burden you don't have to imagine. I can tell you, bills for someone who is living in a house or apartment is not less than $2,000 a month. That's just maybe rent, without adding Wi-Fi, without adding tuition fee, without adding insurance fee, without adding other miscellaneous things. So be fair enough. Don't burden all those international students who come here to better their lives. If they succeed, they will come for you. But as I said, if you want to apply for a college institution, do your research. There are some good colleges. They give you full right to give you graduate assistant. Please do your research, because it's not worth it to come here and struggle. It's not worth it for you to come here and stay in street. So having said that, people might understand a better life about US. You cannot compare US and some parts of other countries. You cannot compare US with Australia or Canada or UK. Each country has its own policies, like US has its own policies. I think it serves them better, the way they want to give us those hours to work. And if you work like 20 hours in a school, let's see, for example, you have like $20, you're working like 20 hours, and then you're being paid like 7.2 shillings or dollars per hour. That translates around $380 in bi-weekly. And how will you be paying your tuition? How will you be paying your rent? That's the basics that I'm taking you through, and I'm gonna be basically honest. I'm brutally honest to you that we struggle here. We face a lot of challenges, and behind everything, the life here. And in my next episode, I'm gonna share with you the challenges of failing in a school, what you expect when you fail on a school, and if you are almost graduating in a college in US, make sure you pass your last class, because if you fail, your service is gonna be terminated indefinitely, and you're gonna be out of status. And if you become out of status, you're gonna face deportation, and facing deportation is quite discouraging. Nobody wants to travel home empty-handed. You have to prove, you have to work, you have to get a lead, you have to earn, you have to save. And you can never save money in this country unless you're being paid by college, or you get a stipend. It's going to be very hard. Like me, I saved my OPT money, but it all went to college. It went to college after my end of my OPT. So guys, I hope this information has something positive for you. If you liked, please share like it, comment, and I'll appreciate it. Keep subscribed to my YouTube channel, and I'll keep you posted. I'll keep you engaging in my next episode. I hope you have a good day,